Howdy. Awesome. We are back. I moved my camera. It's my last stream, my camera wasn't working. And then I spent forever trying to figure out what was going on. And I ended up moving it. So we're now at a different place. It's alright. We are here for lesson two, but I'll go back over the things that we did the last couple lessons. Well, literally last couple. Yeah, last two. So technically not incorrect. I'll take it. So yeah, it's up there. So we have lesson zero where we learn the alphabet, which we'll be using. So I'll just skip right over that. And then lesson one, which is the lesson we did last week, was basic Korean sentences, as well as quite a few words that we had to learn, which I hope everyone was learning them. I was. I was relearning them realistically. Um, so we had Hanguk, which is Korea, Doshi, which is city, 이름, which is name, 저, as in I, me formally, 나, which is I, me informally, 남자, which is man, 여자, which is woman, 이, this thing, well, this, 이것 is this thing, 그, which is that, from a previous sentence or something you were just talking about, or someone you're just talking about, something like that, or 그것, which is that thing from a previous sentence, Jo, which is something really far away. Instead of Jo as an I, it's Jo, that thing really far away. Or Jokot, which is literally that thing. 의자, 탁자, so chair and table. 선생님, 침대, 집, 차, 사람, 책, 컴퓨터, 나무, 소파, 중국, which is China, 일본, which is Japan, 문, door, 의사, 학생, 이다, 네, and 아니. And then we learned a couple of phrases. So 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요, hello, 감사합니다, and 고마워요, just thank you. 잘 지내세요, just how are you, and 제발, just please. So we did learn a little bit about sentence order last lesson, which was it's subject, object, and then verb, or subject adjective. So you know how like we say like, oh, I am a woman. You would actually say I, woman, am in Korean, and that's how you put the sentence. We also learned subject and object particles. So when you're talking about the subject of the sentence, so when you say I, like let's use the I am a woman, it would be 저, which is I, 는, which is the particle, and then you go 여자, which is woman, and then 르, so 저는 여자를 이다, which isn't correctly conjunctioned, but we're gonna learn how to conjunction it, so that's not really a big thing at the moment, but we'll learn how to conjunction it later. Right now, we're just learning how it all fits together. And lesson two, we're gonna learn about Korean particles, 이 and ga. Let's do that. All right. Scroll down. My bad. So, a couple things that we're gonna learn today. I guess we're just gonna roll right into it. First, obviously, some vocabulary, which is what we learned first last time. So let me grab my pen. Go here, and let's start learning. So the first word we got is nara, which is country. Ah, you know what? We're gonna accept it. Actually, I forgot even how did I do an equal sign? I did. Okay, well, as long as I'm following the predetermined, how many pages do I have? Okay. We have country, and then we have, I'll even play it. And then the next one is backpack or kabang.
가방,
A very American English person accent, but that's okay. We're just learning. Uh, um, uh, uh. And next is Chengmun, which is window. Sorry. Oh, Tongmun, not Chengmun. Tongmun. Tongmun. Window. Let's listen to that one.
창문,
And 잡지, which is magazine.
잡지,
I don't know why I'm having such a hard time trying to figure out how to spell that. G is magazine. And next is room, bang. So we can sort of see the correlations between kabang and room is I'm in a room, but the backpack is like there's room in the backpack, kind of, sort of. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking things, but I'll write it. Bang. Room. Writing really sideways. I'm trying to like adjust. I write sideways regardless, so. Whoopsie. What are you doing? Honey? What are you doing?
I'm in the whiteboard. Am I in your shot? If I'm in your shot, I'll leave.
No, you're definitely, your ass
Okay.
is in my shot.
Oh, right.
What? Don't do that. Go away.
Not what? Don't violate terms of service.
Oh my goodness. No one wants to see your ass, honey. I mean, that's not true. No one on my stream wants to see your ass.
I'm pretty sure it's violation.
Okay. Okay. Back. Let's get back and let me.
방,
Hang, bang, either or. And we have refrigerator, which is 냉장고? 냉장고?
냉장고,
I said it pretty well, honestly. Let me write that down now. Oh. Ah. Um. My spell, I literally. Why is refrigerator spelled like that? First off. Second off, moving on. Te? Oh, sorry, ge? I don't know what it is today. Okay? Dog? Am I even saying that right?
개,
개? 강아지?
강아지,
강아지? Puppy? What is this? Who said this? I love that. Alright, 강아지?
You love the fact that our market brokers sent us like little address tables, but they misspelled my first name.
I didn't even notice that. Wait, come back. It's everyone misspells both of our first names, first off. What assholes? You're just perpetuating the fact that no one knows how to spell your goddamn name. What? Why are you kicking Dutch like that? Alright, moving on. 고양이, cat, and 주의, which is rat or mouse.
고양이,
I don't know why the same name. but
쥐,
I'm really curious actually.
쥐,
That's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted. Okay, it's right here. I don't know how rat and mouse are interchangeable, but hey, you know, we're learning. We're gonna go with it. So let's get goyangi. Goyangi. This cats. And Jui, which is rat slash mouse. And then pen, which we have in our hand, a pen. Pen.
펜,
Um, something like that. I feel like I just spelled that really weirdly. We're just gonna accept it. And John Hwagi. John Hwagi. John Hwagi
전화기,
for phone. Okay. Okay. I sounded pretty good there. John Hwagi. Wow. Phone. And coffee. Coffee.
커피,
Coffee. And 식당.
식당,
A coffee and restaurant. I literally don't know how to spell this letter. I don't know what it is. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. I don't know I'm having such a difficult time, but oh well. And then I don't know why I'm having. I don't know how to spell restaurant in English, so rest. Oh, wrong. I don't know. That looks wrong. That's how they spelled it, so we're gonna go with it. Alright, and then we have 건물 building.
건물,
건물. 건물 building. And television.
텔레비전,
So that's building and television. Let's see. Kon. Why can I not spell? Konmur. I spelled that right? I did. Awesome. Building. And then television, which I want to put right here just because I know it's going to be longer. And I want as much space as I can. What? Don't know how to spell. B. Done. Ah. Okay, I spelled it right. And then we have Miguk, which is the US. So I'm from the US, Miguk. So Miguk, 사람 있다? Something like that. I have no idea. I'm thrown. I am trying. Okay. Got me. I'm pretty sure I used the spelling is all wrong. Miguk. USA. And then we have Canada, which is Canada. Canada. Canada.
미국, 캐나다,
Canada. Easy, I like it. Also, I have a giant stuffed animal on my lap. It's a squishmallow, I think. I love these things. I need like 80 bajillion more of them before I'm happy. Let's see. K. Oh wait, like an aspirated K. Canada. And then we have hotel and hakyo. I'm gonna write those really fast. Why? Okay. I like messed up really hard. Redo that. Iggy. Oh. Hey. Hotel and hakyo. Just school. Let's do that. Let's see.
호텔 학교
Hakyo. Okay. Unhang bank.
은행
Unhang. See. Bank. And we got some adverbs here. An, which is inside. Okay, so an is inside. We on top. Meets. Okay, let me. Take the stuffed animal for reference. So, inside, an. We meets. 요. 위. 앞. 여기. It's here. 여기? Something like that? Back. Yeah, I just kind of made that easier for us, I think.
안, 위, 밑, 옆, 뒤, 앞, 여기.
Yeah, I think I got most of those correct. So let's. Oh, what am I doing? Ah, okay. Try again. Let's see. On. Inside. We. Which is on top. Meet. Below. Ah. It's terrible O, but we're gonna accept it. Yelp. The side. I don't know how to spell this. We're gonna just go with it. Yelp. The side. We. Behind. Up. In front. And yogi is here. Yogi is here. And then the verb / adverb we're learning has two different meanings. Ita is either to be at a location or to have something. Excuse me. Oh, my allergies. They're getting to me. Ita. So, to be at / to have. We'll figure it out. All right, so those are all our vocabulary words today, which we got. I think I wrote smaller this time. Hey, I'll take that as a win if it on 2 characters. And again, you can get the memorize tool. That's what I use. I just get it on my memorize on my phone, and I can just use it on my phone. Very convenient. I like it. Let's scroll down. So they're just going back over the particles that we learned on last Tuesday. So in lesson 1, so nun and un and ru and ur. So nun and un is for like the main subject, and ru and ur is used to indicate the object of a sentence, the object. And it looks like today we're going to learn I and ga, specifically how to compare un and nun. In all situations, I is attached to nouns in which the last letter is a consonant, and ga is attached to nouns in which the last letter is a vowel. Same thing with un and nun. Check ends in a consonant, K, so it would be tek I, and sopa ends in a vowel, so it would be sopa ga. They're going to teach us later. It looks like we're going to learn ita, which is to have or to be at. So ita has many meanings. To a beginner of Korean, we can simplify and generalize these meanings into 2 forms or usages, which is to have and to be at a location. Let's talk about the first, to have. In English, to have is a verb that can act on an object. For example, I have a pen. I have a car. I have a phone. The usage ita in Korean is an adjective. This is hard for learners to wrap their head around. At this point, this is important for you for one reason. In lesson 1, the sentences with adjectives cannot act on an object. Thus, you cannot have a word with the particle u attached to it if its predicating word in a sentence is an adjective, because ur and ur indicates an object in the sentence. So they gave us an incorrect example, which is 나는 펜을 있다, which is I have a pen, which is not correct. Because we can't have objects in the same, we can't have objects in the same word as an adjective. So that's okay. So that's where they're teaching us that one usage of the particle I and ga, that is to indicate that the thing that a person has in a sentence with ita. So like 나는 펜이 있다, which when you conjunctate it would be 나는 펜이 있어, or 저는 펜이 있어요, which you can listen to that.
나는 펜이 있어. 저는 펜이 있어요.
있어요. So I have a pen. This would be technically correct because we're not using the ur and ru particle, which is an object particle, which is why we have this I and ga particle. I should probably write that down. Wait, let me. Okay, so I and ga. See. Usages. See. So ignore my shorthand. That's for sentences with adjectives. That's what that means. I know what it means, so I can translate. So it's fine. As long as I'm here, everything's fine. So we have another example, which is hi Dutch, which is 나는 차가 있다. I have a car, which when you conjunctate it would be 나는 차가 있어, or 저는 차가 있어요. Dutch, I don't know what you're doing. Dutch.
나는 차가 있어. 저는 차가 있어요.
Or I have a magazine, which is 나는 잡지가 있다, or 나는 Or I have a backpack, which is 나는 가방이 있다. And they give us just a don't pay attention to like this, or because we're gonna learn that later. I think they said lesson 5 is when we're gonna actually learn how to conjunctate anything, which like feels like forever away, but we'll get there. It's gonna be fine. All right. So now we're gonna be doing indicating a place or time, which is eh. So denotes a place or time when used in identifying place similar to the underlined words in English sentences. So at, to, on, into, in. Hi, you're in my way. You're in my way. Yes, you're so cute. Yes. You're so cute. Yes. Why do you choose now of all times to be so affectionate? This is the cat that literally does not like me. Yes, you know Mama's busy, so you have to come over and say hello. Ugh. Yes. And get on my... Ah! What do you even do? What'd you press? Stop pressing my buttons. Alright. Cat for everywhere. Everywhere. So, let's write this down. I feel like I should leave that. I know how it is, and then add more if we need it. I feel like that's not over. So, let's... Oh, why are you over? Oh, no. Broski. How'd you even change which side it was on? Okay. Oh! Was that simple the entire time? Okay. I'm just figuring many things out about my tablet. I had no idea how they worked. I'm getting off track. Okay. So we're learning about which denotes notes, place, so it also denotes the time in which something happens. So I ate a breakfast at 10 o'clock. I went to school on Saturday. I was born in 1990. It's possible to have "e" twice in a sentence. For example, Korean translations of the sentence "I went to the park at 10 a.m." would have "e" attached to the word park and 10 a.m. It would be too much to discuss how "e" can be used in all these situations in the lesson, and why bring it up? In this lesson just below, you will learn how to use "e" to indicate where one is in order to create sentences. I am at school. Okay. Looks like we have to scroll farther. It's okay. So to be at a location, that's where we're learning how to attach "e" to something. The example that we're learning is I am at school. So 나는 school에 am at. That's how the sentence would be set up in Korean. And actually in Korean would be 나는 학교에 있다. Obviously not conjunctated, but they have conjunctated versions. Which is 나는 학교에 있어, and 저는 학교에 있어요.
나는 학교에 있어. 저는 학교에 있어요.
Yep. So let me just write a sample sentence. I've probably been doing this a long time ago. I hate it, but we're gonna just do the unconjunctated version because we don't know how to conjunctate yet. Notice the big difference between the following sentences and the role that particles have in each case. Because ita has two different meanings, changing the particle in a sentence can drastically change the meaning. For example, I have a school or I am at school. So that's when you're the difference between ga and e. So hey Faye Essentials. It took me 2 hours to learn the alphabet. I did have a stream up 2 weeks ago for the alphabet. I have it on my YouTube as well. I think I was only on stream for maybe an hour and 30 minutes, but the problem is I have guilty knowledge if I already know how it works. I love this website for learning. Also, you can use Duolingo. They have a Memrise. The Memrise actually doesn't go over the alphabet though, so the Memrise is only for the words that they learn in each lesson. All right. I don't even know where we're at. Oh yeah, I have a school versus I am at school, and I have a magazine versus I am at the magazine, which is the difference between using e and ga versus e, because e denotes a place and time, where e and ga are just another variation for. It's like it's different than object verb. Now I feel like I'm questioning my entire life. I don't think they went really over it. I think they're gonna go over it later. Maybe? Yeah. So it's a subject marker sort of thing. Learn that. Let's see, we can use position words to indicate specifically where someone, something is with respect to another noun. So, in front of the school, hakyo oppe, or behind the person, saram duie, behind the house, jib yope, or behind that building, so ja, because it's a building that we can see, ja honmur duie. Let's see, so we're gonna be looking at different ways to say I'm at school, which is different, using different like specific positions that we can be at. So I am at school, which is again na는 학교에 있다, not conjunctated, which is we never really say it out loud, but I'm doing it because we're learning. And then if you're saying I am in front of the school, you would say 나는 학교 앞에 있다. And then we're just gonna listen to the
나는 학교 앞에 있어.
앞에 있어. Or I am behind the school. 나는 학교 뒤에 있다. Which, as you can see, rinse and repeat. I am beside the school. 나는 학교 옆에 있다. And all other sorts of ways to do it. So e and ga can be attached to nouns in sentence to indicate the object, which we've already learned in case of sentences with adjectives. It also can indicate the subject of a sentence. What's the difference? We're going to learn it right now. So one of the most difficult things for a new learner of Korean to understand is the difference between the particle nun and un and e and ga. Early in this lesson, you learned that you should use i and ga on the object that a person has when using ita. In addition to this, there are more functions of I and Ga that you should know about. That's why I left some space for us up here. So, to use an example using the grammar taught earlier in this lesson, you could say 고양이는 집 뒤에 있다, which is 고양이 cat, 집 house, 뒤 뒤에 뒤 is behind, and 있다. I'm kind of just ignoring the actual sentence. I'm ignoring it. And then 있다, which is a place to be or something to have. So the cat is behind the house. Yeah, there we go. So relatively speaking, you could replace the nun with da, and it could have the same meaning and feeling. They emphasize the fact that it could because in some situations the meaning of two sentences is exactly the same, but in other, the meaning of two sentences can be subtly different. Let's learn about why and how it could be subtly different. It's just very let's see. Nun and un has a role of indicating that something is being compared with something else. The noun that nun and un is added to being compared. In this example, the speaker is saying that the cat is behind the house in comparison to something else that is not behind the house. The difficulty here is there is only one sentence, which gives the listener no context to understanding what the cat is being compared with. However, if I were to make up a context of this situation, it could be the cat is in the house, and the dog is in the house, and the cat is behind the house. However, saying 고양이 가 is simply saying that a fact that the cat is not being compared to anything. So I think I'm going to write that down. Cat not which I find very interesting. You also might be wondering why and. Oh, another example, which is 커피가 냉장고에 있다. The coffee is in the fridge. Which the sentence is simply saying that the coffee is in the fridge and there are no intention of comparison. And 커피는 냉장고에 있다. The coffee is in the fridge. The sentence could simply be stating the coffee is in the fridge. It is also possible that the speaker is trying to distinguish between the location of another object. For example, perhaps tea is on the table, but the coffee is in the fridge. You might be also wondering why "and" isn't used if we are indicating the coffee is in the fridge. In this case, where the location being described happens to be inside of something, "an" can be an omitted. You can see the similarities of using "an" and not using it in the following English and Korean sentences. So the coffee is in the fridge versus the coffee is inside the fridge. We do that in English. We don't say, oh, that's inside of the fridge. We say, that's in the fridge. So, same concept. In both pairs of examples, using un and nun and I and ga, the translation does not change by altering the subject particle. Rather, the only thing that changes is the subtle feeling or nuance that something is being compared. So, un and nun is like a comparison. It can be compared. Doesn't mean it is being compared, but I mean it can be. It probably will be. Using I and ga is like factual. You're not comparing anything. It's like this is happening. That can also be happening, but they're two relatively different things. They're not being compared. I think. There we go. And note that this comparative function of un and nun can be used in much more complicated sentences and can be attached to other grammatical principles, neither of which we have learned yet. Adios. As you progress through your lessons and you see nun and un and yi and ga use the subject particles in the thousands of example sentences we provide. As almost all of our example sentences are just written as one sentence without any background or contents, there's no way to tell if something is being compared to, and thus their usage is usually arbitrary. That being said, every Korean example sentence throughout all of our lessons is always checked by a native Korean speaker to make sure that nothing is awkward or incorrect. There's so much things. So, in lesson 3, we're going to continue learning other grammatical principles that we need to know to deepen our understanding of Korean. And then they're talking about lesson 17 and 22. That's really far away. That's a really long way away. I feel like I sped through this lesson. I think the lesson's over. Whoops. The good thing is, even if you make a mistake with the usage of I and ga and nun and un, either because you are confused or because you haven't reached a later lesson yet, 99.9% of the time, the listener will be able to understand exactly what you're trying to express. Likewise, if you listen to somebody speaking, you'll be able to understand what they're trying to say, regardless if you have learned the more complex usage or not. So, apparently that's the end of the lesson. I feel like I just sped through that. Yeah, it's a 40-minute lesson. Maybe it was shorter. I have no idea. I have no idea. Let's go up here. And let's just go back through all of the words one more time that we're learning and that you should be learning for next week, which is starting with country, nara, habang, 창문, 낙지, 빵, 냉장고, 개, 강아지, 고양이, 주의, 펜, 전화기, 커피, 식당, 건물, 텔레비전, 미국, 캐나다, 호텔, 학교, 은행, and so get back my trusty example. So an inside, and then we meet, 옆, 뒤, 앞, and 여기 is here. And then ita, which has two meanings, to be at or to have something. So to be at a location or to have something. And wow, I really feel like I sped through this lesson. I didn't mean to, I promise. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping in, and I'll be back next Tuesday with lesson 3, and I'm very excited to be here. You have a good one. Bye. I can even learn how to end these streams.